Welcome to the champ and the chump.
And who's the chump?
You.
Me. Welcome to our show, people. Yeah, I've known Marco since I was probably 20.
19. We met at Kevin Rooney's stable.
Oh, Kevin Rooney's.
Yeah.
So
Jeremy.
we'll talk about boxing, lifestyle, this, that, like just a lot, just a little different than normal. Who you fight, when you fight, why you fight, like a little more, and more personal than that. Because obviously I've known you my whole life, so yeah.
Yeah.
So like, how'd you guys first meet?
Charisma?
Junior camp.
Junior was the Junior Olympic camp.
Yep, 1986.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right,
there we go back.
Chris, you were a silver medalist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in the Olympics. Yeah.
That's dope. Where was that? What country was that in?
Spain.
That was in Barcelona, Spain.
That's cool. And then you were, for all the people who will be listening.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. It was.
Go ahead. I'm
sorry. Going in and out.
Yeah, you too.
No, I said. Yeah, I know it's going in and out. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to listen.
So I was saying. So you fought in the Olympics at middleweight, right?
Yeah, I did. At middleweight, my whole time. I was with Jeremy the whole time. I mean, we a national team 4 years doing our thing.
Yeah, I was telling Jeremy that you guys have in common that you both, as amateurs and maybe even naturally, were lighter fighters, lighter weights, but you both went into the heavyweight and did very well, even though you were naturally lighter guys, right?
Definitely. We were naturally lighter. He was a light heavyweight and amateur, and I was a middleweight and amateur. And we fought in the big era of heavyweights. The little era of heavyweights, that's the Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield era. We fought in the Klitchko era where all the big guys come in. So it's tough, man, fighting all these big guys all the time. And Jeremy, man, I wish I had that kind of power. Man, Jeremy could knock guys out. I mean,
yeah. Don't brag, Jeremy. You just told me that when you were on the Olympic team. Tell the story that they tested all the power of every fighter. They had like a machine to test it, right?
Yeah, when the power remember we're in Lake Placid, and
Lake
Placid, and they tested everybody's power, and I got higher than everybody. I think who was fast? Somebody was. I wasn't the fastest, but I was the hardest. I was the hardest puncher.
Oh, they tested speed too?
It was that machine that they had us on. And we punched through it.
Damn.
Yeah, the punch. I remember that one. He hit real hard. And we knew you the hardest puncher. It wasn't a surprise.
That was easy, right? It was easy. But biggest troublemaker.
You?
This?
How so?
Young and reckless, man. But that that's everybody at that point. Chris was more like the tamer one. Yeah, you were tamer
not
than
everybody at that point.
Yeah. Well, please. Well, what we're talking about is people. Chris and I were on the U.S. boxing team from 1988.
89. We both won U.S. championships.
89, 90, 91, 92. Same team. So I would see Christopher and the guys on the team about 8 months out of the 12-month year would be on the road doing stuff. That day, but we go a month here, a week there, a month here, 2 months there. And so these guys, and there's 12 of us, I think, we all the A team or the first team USA boxing, we were together all the time, and it's like living with a bunch of brothers in a dorm, in a hotel room, and on a plane, on a bus. It seemed like every time you turn around, you're going back to camp to do something else, to fight somewhere else.
Well, that's how we were in Catskill. We all lived in Kevin Rooney's house, right? Literally under the same fucking roof, all of us.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, that was rough,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, but that was like 4 or 5 of us. Imagine doing 12 guys from all over the country.
12. Well, but look, one time it was 48.
what?
48 of us came out there.
They got
I
two,
mean,
one,
and then we would fight, get along. You know how it is when you
Yeah.
at a training camp is crazy.
you know, people,
You know,
brothers,
all these different person.
yeah, like
I mean,
48.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, but you know, like we made it through that, and the hard was portion. Question. So you at 60, fighting at 60, 70. I say the one is implied. So if I say 60, I don't mean 60. 60. I'm just for our viewers. I mean the one is implied. So if you fought at 60 or 75, why did you jump all the way to heavyweight? The 75 or cruiser was there.
I thought you knew my story, man. Look,
I do know, but
I won a
else
silver,
doesn't.
but I won a silver medal in the Olympics. I didn't get signed. No offers, nothing. I'm like, I was so depressed. I was cutting grass with my brother. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go to heavyweight. If nobody don't want me at this weight, I mean, I fought my first 2 fights in Flint, bootleg promoters, didn't get paid, didn't get a signing, but won a silver medal and get nothing for it. So I was like, man, I'm going to heavyweight. I'm gonna shock the world. Because you know how skinny I was.
Yeah.
I ate my way. I didn't have no money, nothing. Ate my way to heavyweight. And my brother, Patrick, you know my brother, he went out one day. He called me. He said, man, we don't have nothing going on. We didn't fight for a year and a half. It was a year and a half gap that we did nothing was happening.
From the Olympics?
He called me one day and said, man, what's that?
From the time
From the Olympics, after the Olympics.
Till was that 1992?
Yes.
So you didn't fight till middle of 93 or 94?
No, actually, so 92 after Olympics, I didn't get signed by nobody. A promoter, my father trusted this promoter from Vegas. I ain't gonna say his name. Bootleg, put on the show, promised us everything. So we were like, okay, cool. My career about to start. Man, fight my first fight, nobody get paid. Nobody come to the fight. Promotion was messed up. Second fight, nobody get paid. Same thing happened. I'm like, what the heck is my career? No promoter, no nothing.
Wow.
So my brother Patrick one day called me. He called me and said, man, I got some flyers. I'm gonna go out to some of these businesses and ask for money. I'm like, what's the money for? I mean, what, to live? I mean, he said, well, we ain't got nothing. He came across a guy handing out flyers. He owned a laminating business named Dave Lesage. He said, I don't have much money, but I got a venue. And if I get some help, we could put on some shows. Man, Patrick, as soon as he got done meeting with him, he called me, man. He was so excited. My father, Pops, Jeremy, my father is a jack of all trades, put on shows, rings, do all that stuff. So boom, they got together. Knockout Promotions is in effect. The promoter owns a laminate. He don't know nothing about boxing. I started boxing at a nightclub, about 250 people. I'm fighting at heavyweight. Man, I'm scared to death. I'm like, oh, snap. I'm used to fighting on the little small guys. Now I'm fighting the big guy. I'm like, oh, snap. But my hands was blazing. And I didn't have anything. I mean, I had nothing. I had no money coming in, nothing. This is all I got. I got to make it work. So I got over the fear and like, forget that. I got to fight. Yeah. So every fight meant something. These dudes got bigger, better, more drugs, more. I'm like, dang, everybody getting bigger, taller, and better. Usually you big and clumsy.
Yeah.
So at first I was killing them at home. And then all of a sudden you start hitting, you're like, okay, oh man. Then people start telling you about drugs and these guys are getting bigger and better. You're like, dang. But you got to do what you got to do. I fought at heavyweight. Now I'm coming back at middleweight. Jeremy, I'm trying to be the best ever. Think about it. From middleweight to heavyweight, heavyweight to middleweight, I'm gonna win a world title.
So wait,
Okay.
I'm gonna kill it.
so
Go
wait.
ahead, Mark.
So did you fought? Did you have any pro fights at middleweight, or every fight was a heavyweight?
I fought at 168. I weighed 169 my first pro fight. Didn't get paid. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Second fight, I weighed 172 pounds. We didn't even cut weight. Me and my brother didn't cut weight before nothing. We didn't know anything. We was eating, junk food the morning of the fight. Next fight, I fought at 193, which was scary to death. I'm like, uh-oh. And then next fight, I was 202. I couldn't top out anymore. I started topping out. I couldn't put on the weight.
Was it 202 with all your clothes on?
Everything. I mean, I drank. I would literally drink a gallon. Drinking milk at that time. I try to drink a gallon of milk before I get on the scale.
I feel like I don't understand how you didn't get signed, because you were a very exciting fighter to watch. It's not like you were boring. It's not like you didn't have personality. That doesn't make sense. That's crazy.
Well, at the time, people were looking for killers. Chris is
punchers.
Punchers. People were looking for punchers. Chris is not the guy. Super finesse, super stylistic.
I guess Chris kind of reminded me of Pernell Whitaker, but with pop. And Pernell Whitaker was real pop.
Hey, but the thing is, honestly, I think when we came back from Barcelona, it was an article in Ring Magazine. It said a bombing in Barcelona. It criticized everybody. My father, everybody on the team, but Oscar.
Wow.
Didn't get signed. I really got criticized. He's good, but he can't punch, and he just finesse lay on the road. They didn't understand my style, so nobody gets signed. I'm like, what?
Okay, but
I'm a silver medalist in the Olympics.
Yeah, but you're a silver medalist at 60. Why? But it still makes no sense. Why did you move up to 70? I mean, to heavy? Because if you're not fighting anything, what's the difference?
My whole thought was, if they don't want me at this weight, I'm gonna shock them at heavyweight. They're gonna I thought in my mind I can draw some attention to me. Man, he was at middleweight, now he's fighting at heavyweight. He's gonna get killed. Now that's what I wanted. So people will be like, oh, they'll watch.
Why didn't you stop?
I got criticized when I got the heavyweight.
Yeah, of course.
What was
why
that?
Go to 75.
Nah, I didn't. I thought it'd be more money.
Okay.
The one thing I heard after the Olympics was James Toney wasn't gonna fight me, and Roy didn't want to fight me. Already, I didn't even turn pro yet, and I'm like, really? So I had that in my mind. I'm like, I don't know how this pro thing works. I might get blocked here. And then when I didn't get signed, I'm like, forget it. I thought about John Bray. I said, let's start with John Bray. Man, I think I could, he was slow. I'm like, I could deal with that. And then all the big heavyweights came. I was like, oh, damn.
And the McCline, yes. So, because I too had the thing, like when I first started, like what I personally wanted to do, I wanted to fight at 75 and then 95. And then, but I was too big. I was cutting so much weight, I couldn't get 75. I wasn't as disciplined as I am now. I could have made 75, because I've been making it for 5 years. I just discipline wasn't there, and so. But then, like at the time, Cruiser made no money. I mean,
that's why.
I get that Cruiser. Like you be on the show and you be a cruiserweight, you be the main event and make $3,000. Like, what the heck? Hey, $3,000 doesn't even cover your sparring fees. So
no.
Chris, you also had something
right about that.
You had something very unique where your father and your mother were in your corner, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My whole career. Yeah, my whole career. Been my mother, father. Then when I turned pro, my brothers. It was always, it was a thrill, especially with my mother in the corner, because she would tell me stuff that wasn't even related to boxing. She would start to whisper in my whisper in my ear, talking about, hey, you know you got those house, you got a house, you just bought a brand new house, you got a house note, you got kids, they got private school, all that stuff in my ear. You fighting for a different reason. Yeah, it's built and stuff, but you got to take care of family.
That's crazy. My
mom would.
That's funny. My mom, my mother's in the ring, she'd be like, "Why didn't you take the trash out last night?" I'm like, "What?" She said, "You take the trash out, I'm gonna have him whoop your butt." I'm like,
when I first met Jeremy, he was, what were you about? You were 175 when you came up to Kevin's.
I was like 85, something like that.
They hired a personal trainer, and I mean, they had him eating on a regimen. They had him all kinds of shit, like real regimented to put that weight on, and you put it on pretty quick.
Still fine. Yeah, but you know, like if I look back, I look back at my career and I go, man, I made so many mistakes. You know, I could have done this, I should have done that. But I think everyone in life looks back and goes, I could have done this different, I could have done that different.
Well,
and you know, you live with what you have.
I think we talked about it, and even for me, like, you know, I didn't go anywhere near the levels you guys went to, but like Kevin Rooney's style was specific and usually for shorter fighters. So like I'm 5'11", I'm too tall for it, and I was super middle. And Jeremy, you were way too tall.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah. And I feel like that style, right? Like I think a short fighter with speed and power is the ideal candidate for that kind of style.
Yeah. It wasn't me. Once I learned what Kevin had to teach, I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Cause just 6-8 months, maybe a year in the gym with Kevin, you know everything.
Yeah.
Especially come from a boxing background, like kind of I get it. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
It was done. So like you and your style obviously is totally unique to anybody. How does your style become? I already know, but I want to know. Everybody wants. Yeah, damn.
It's back.
My phone fell.
Like how
my phone fell. I'm sorry.
No, we figured that. We want to know how your style came about. I know, but everybody else needs to know how you created the style that you fight.
Yeah, honestly, my style really came about when my father built a gym in the basement. When he built that gym, we lost our gym. So my father was stressed. He was like, and he went to he was in Detroit, got invited to a meeting to talk about Harriet Tubman. It was like a celebration for Harriet Tubman. And he heard that she hid 100 slaves in this small area. He came home. He told my mother, he's like, I could build a gym in the basement. She hid 100 slaves. I could do this. He went downstairs, made a bootleg ring, 8x10. The walls, it was the walls with carpet on 3 sides. The front was the ropes. And he said, you can't lay on the ropes, they'll break. So you basically fight in the middle of the ring. I used to fight on the wall, off the wall. My brother Joe tried to kill me. I mean, he would just come at 8x10 ring. And he would pin me on the wall. He would hit the wall so hard with the glove, I make him miss. Boom, boom. I was like, dang, he trying to knock me out. But it made me work on my defense so much to where my style just started creating, getting better and better from the basement. It was out of fear.
Yeah.
You develop my defense is everything. Like I'm defense first.
So
you see me.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying when you see me come back, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I interviewed him. I see what he's saying.
So like
they're gonna be shadow boxing.
I was gonna ask you, I was trying to look it up and I forget which fight it was. There was this one fight, I want to say 97, 98, where your defense, you shook this guy so much that he fell down. Do you remember what fight I'm talking about? You moved out the way, made him miss so much that he fell over swinging and missing at you. And that's you don't remember it? I don't remember who it was either. But
I gotta go back and look. fights.
It was impressive, though. I remember back then watching it back then because I was a fan. Kind of, I was watching you come up, and it was just that defense was slick to where you shook somebody to the floor.
Yeah,
Well,
I forgot which guy, but I love it.
What is your record to date?
My record 41-5-1, one draw.
Who'd you draw with?
41. I draw with Andrew Galata at the Guard.
Is that
the Massacre Guard? I got a story about that one.
Let's go.
I didn't hear you.
Let's go. Let's hear the Galata story.
Say?
Let's hear
it. Let's go. I know
Andrew. So the story is, I'm warm. Yeah. Okay, but the story is y'all going in and out. My bad.
It's okay.
The story is I was in the, how you waiting to go, walk. You waiting to walk. Next fight coming up. John Ruiz just got done fighting Frezza Kendall. Man, they booed the place like crazy. Everybody booing. Don King was standing right there in the walkway. So I looked at Don. I said, I'm gonna save your show tonight. I'm gonna go to war. He looking at me like, how you gonna save my show? You a boxer. Man, we got in the fight. If you watch a fight, we went at it. I went. He had me pinned on the ropes almost the whole fight, but we were thumping. Like, I put it on him. And we fought to a draw. That's why it was a draw. And everybody afterwards were like, why'd you fight him like that? I was like, I had to hold up to a promise to Don King. I'm gonna save his show. And it saved it. I mean, everybody was like, wow, that was the one time in my career everybody was like, wow, you went there and fought. I got a standing ovation. Usually then you sit back and be like this. I don't get the Jeremy Williams response in my fights.
Yeah, if they have a bunch of boos or yays. I get either or. Left or right.
Man, you're knocking them out. You're getting a lot of yays.
Yeah, but shit, it takes sometimes it's a lot of work to knock somebody out, man.
You hold the fastest out in California history, right, Jeremy?
Yes.
30 seconds?
30. 8. 8.
That's what I meant.
8 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's not about that. But look, so
well, it was Arthur Weathers, wasn't it?
Arthur Weathers, yeah. You know him?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
So I remember that.
Well, so
go ahead.
Dream fight for you now.
Oh, dream fight, Canelo Alvarez.
Woo!
Actually, who I really want to fight is Triple G because he won a silver medal in the Olympics at 165. I won a silver medal in the Olympics at 165. 2 silver medals. I never fought nobody in my weight class that was in the Olympics or at a high level. So that'd be the guy. But Canelo, oh my goodness. Let's see the slickness. Who's slicker? All he do is breaking guys down with his defense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I see it. I know what you're doing.
Are you sparring?
Now you got to reach me. I'm tall. I can punch now, Jeremy.
Are you sparring now?
Are you sparring now?
You froze.
I can't. What was that?
Are you sparring now?
Are you sparring right now, like consistently?
Yeah.
And how's it feel?
Yeah. Yep.
And he's sparring 75 pounds?
At first, it was kind of rough. I say, I haven't sparred in 7 years, got in the ring, nothing. And then it started clicking. And I think I'm better than I was at heavyweight. So we'll see.
The speed has.
I feel like I will be the best in boxing. I will be.
So the speed and the reflex, because that's always the first
videos.
It's the speed is there, reflexes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of stuff on Instagram.
The reflexes.
Go
ahead, Chris.
It went out.
He's back.
There we go. You're back.
My kid.
I'm.
The reflexes are good.
Yeah, I love it. That's if that wasn't back, I wouldn't come back. Honestly, I'm not getting hit for nobody. I'm not gonna be just getting hit or being a normal boxer standing in front of you. No. I'm the unique one. I'm 50 years old too. And I'm finna show the world that a 50-year-old man can win 3 world titles.
Do you think
middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight? I'm getting mine.
Do you think you'll have a problem getting licensed because of the age, or you don't think does that matter?
Hey, I think right now I'm probably the healthiest guy in boxing. So how you gonna deny me? I take my shirt off, they're gonna be like, "What? Really?"
Yeah, but it's not.
And then about all I have to do. What's that?
Yeah, but it's about this. It's about neurologically if you're fathom enough to box. That you look. I mean, I see your video. Do you look great? Like wow. But then they're gonna say, okay, what's going on upstairs? What are the eyes like? What is your vision? What is your hearing? How you you got fake hips now. All of that stuff makes something, and then that's what they look at, and then like who's gonna want to pay you to fight and beat their guy?
That's why we're in a social media era. You draw this is for the fan. That's the problem with boxing. Everybody nobody want to fight each other. Big fights. No, call them out. These guys really don't want to fight. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove. I'm talking the trash to make them fight me, to make them want to sign. I want to be must-see TV. So that's what I'm gonna bring to boxing.
So you don't have any interest in fighting?
When I get that opportunity.
I'm sorry. What?
What's that?
What'd you say?
I was gonna say.
No, I just say when I get that opportunity.
What'd you say, Chris? What'd you say, Chris?
No, I'm just saying when I get that opportunity, that's when it's coming. That's what we're working on right now. The first fight. I just want people. We're in social media. I'll post everything. I'll post my fights. You ain't gonna be scared of me this time. All these heavyweights avoided me. Now it's time to go. It's time to really make fights. So I can come back. I'm a 50-year-old guy trying to fight the young guys. I'm not scared to fight anybody. I'll call out anybody, fight anybody. I'll do it, whatever.
Yeah, but okay, but so outside of that is you'll fight anybody, but anybody won't fight you.
We will see. My thing is, in my first career, I didn't call nobody out. I didn't call him a coward. We didn't have social media. You force fights. It's for the fans, man. We got to make fights. So who don't want to see a 50-year-old old gray looking like Moses putting in work with these young kids? I'm gonna be must-see TV.
Do you think
that's the whole goal?
Let me ask: do you have any interest in fighting like Roy or the fighters that are in your age, or you just want to stick to the young guys?
Whoever. If anybody they know me in history, I'll fight anybody. So if the older guys want to fight, let's get it. I'll fight in the older league and I'll fight in the young league. It don't matter. I'm in the best shape of my life, honestly.
Okay, so did you I'm sure you saw Mike Tyson, Roy Jones' little like boring ass. What you think about that?
Hey, 12 years for Mike Tyson. I'm like, man, that after 15 years.
Yeah.
12 with me. I thought he looked great. And Roy using his legs, touch and go. You know Mike Tyson. What you gonna do? Just especially with Roy, how he been knocked out, stand right there, touch and go, touch and go. He did what made him comfortable. A lot of fans, some liked it, some didn't, but hey, it was great for boxing. I think the whole night was just great for boxing because it was just boxing on the card, unusual knockout. Nate Robinson getting knocked out, stuff like that. It was all right.
Man,
those two were all right.
I saw that fight and was like, I'll beat the shit out of Mike Tyson. He punched hard, but man, his level of what he did, he's not the guy he was. I mean, we're all not like him.
Thanks, no.
But like I look like, man, this that thing he's selling, that Iron Mike Tyson thing he's selling. I'm not buying it.
What thing?
That just the image that that kind of that image thing that he's pushing out there, like like some Roy Jones. I know he power is the last thing to leave,
Mm-hmm.
but
I thought Roy just was just very. You seemed like he just wanted to get through the fight. He wanted to just get through the fight, and wanted to put it on his bucket list and be done. Because he didn't put any kind of offense together, right?
very little, very little. I thought it was a bit boring.
I mean, the dude Tyson is
well.
Go ahead, Chris.
How many fights have Roy fought at heavyweight?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
One.
Now he's fighting the one of the hardest hitting heavyweights of all time. Example, touch and run. She crazy. What are you supposed to do? Stand in front of him?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
The hype sound good. Everybody got a plan until you get in the ring. You get in the ring, look across, you like, man.
Yeah.
No, that's. I guess that's you know how it is. It's like.
No, I get it. I mean,
that's Mike Tyson. That's
my of course. But then I think it was just a big it's not dishonest, but a disservice. I mean, like you see, Mike, you and I'm a victim of old age too. Like I'm thinking, I'm gonna see Mike, fight Trevor Burbick. You know what I mean? Terrell Biggs.
I feel the same way about Roy. Like, I guess because Roy was one of the few fighters that even that he was naturally lighter. If he would have put through that offense, that skill that he has, that 1 in a million skill, he could have done way better. But like Chris said, ever since Roy got knocked out those few times, I feel like he got way more gun shy. He doesn't want to pull the trigger.
Oh, definitely. And then you fight Mike Tyson. You kind of gun shy, and you fight Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
What's to do? Stand in front of you? No.
Yeah.
Who want to get knocked out in front of the world? Everybody was watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, it set off something. It set off something in boxing. Like it set off something. Like, and it helps me out big time because I'm 50. They were 54 and 51. They got through 8 rounds. It might have been 2 minutes, but I'm like, okay. Hey, I'm in great shape. So y'all gonna see the 50-year-old phenom.
Right. So, Chris, where are you living? Where are you living now? Where are you living now?
San Diego area. In the San Diego area, San Marcos area. I mean, in San Marcos in the San Diego area.
And how long have you been there?
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
I've been in the area for 11 years.
Wow.
11 years. It's been good. I moved from Vegas. After I retired, I moved. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to California. And that's when I came down with chronic pain in my foot with nerve damage when I came to California. It was bad. It was a bad 11 years of just pain. The whole time since I moved here, I've been in pain. Now it's all gone.
I'm sorry, what caused the nerve damage?
So going to a lot of doctors, they were saying boxing, but nothing was wrong with my brain. I'm like, I had to start studying food for myself. A doctor, Dr. Sabi, I follow Dr. Sabi and what he teach on food and start studying food. I'm like, man, the food that got me to heavyweight, all that trash junk food, my body's so sensitive. It just, I break out in hives. I think, Jeremy, you was on a trip when I first broke out in hives in Italy.
Yeah, in Italy.
Man, it got so much worse when I was boxing because of the food. I would swell up. I would itch. I would have extreme fatigue. I mean, I would die after fights. I'm in the hospital after probably 14 fights straight. I'm in the hospital afterward. Nobody know about that. Before I fought David 2 weeks before, I'm in the hospital. Here, my body collapsed, falling apart. So, with all the food and studying the food, I'm like, man, the chemicals that's in the food is killing me. Man, extreme fatigue. My joints are breaking up. I'm like, I got football injuries. My hips went out. This all after boxing. My hips and shoulders went out. I'm not even training. Like, what's wrong with my body? My body just falling apart, man. I'm suicidal. I'm super depressed. I'm like, man. And then something in me, man, it's probably my mom. You know, whatever you put your mind to, Chris, you could do. You gotta change your ways of everything. Because I was still living like a heavyweight, eating bad, not really working out, you know, just living. Okay, I'm retired, living life, you know, stuff here, flabby. I looked at my chest one day, looked at my chest, and it was growing. I'm like, okay, I got titties coming. I'm like, dang it, I'm an athlete. I got to stay in shape. And then start changing. And once I started changing my diet and changing the way I thought about just life, you know, killing myself, you know, doing that stuff and thinking positive, everything started changing. Man, I'm telling you.
So you think it's
dramatic change?
You think the majority of it was not psychological, but it was the food that you ate and your body reacting?
100%. 100%. When I stopped eating it, inflammation. I had inflammation on my left leg from my hip down to my foot. I got on the machine on my left leg, on my right leg, 50%, inflammation all through my body. As soon as I started eating very strict, because at first, you know, you start off not eating too strict, you kind of cheat, and then I went really, really raw. And I was like, man, and my body started changing, everything started changing, and I started using cannabis. I'm with a cannabis expert. Her name Tammy Thomas. Hit me everything on cannabis. I'm like, oh my goodness, it heals. So high doses of THC cannabis. She had me on a program. The lead
froze, brother. You froze. I'm
juicing the leaves every day, drinking it. Order. Make sure I was on point the whole way. And now look at me. I'm back. I'm back. It's time to get it. I'm winning middle.
Okay, well, you're
title, bro.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay, so a meal before
I got my life back, bro.
Okay, so tell me, a meal before you change your lifestyle. What would be a meal for you? Regular hamburger, burger, like what would you do? What would you eat?
Man, look, I'm eating in a day, like throughout the day, no nutrition. I get up and I eat me like I love my donuts. I have my donuts in the morning. So I eat them throughout the day. Then I have my little snack. Love snack. I snack most of the day, just snacking, junk. I love traveling, driving somewhere because I can go stop at the gas station, fill my car with the junk, and have my music, eating junk. Everything junk. Now I'm all organic. I don't eat no wheat, no dairy, no sugar, nothing. I don't need. Some days I don't even eat. I feel great.
Are you on a raw diet now? Everything has to be
I didn't hear you. What was that?
Does everything that you eat have to be raw? Because I heard you say.
I mean, mostly.
Okay. Eat meat?
Yeah, mostly raw. You know.
Do you eat
fruit, vegetable, nuts? I can't hear you. You said meat?
You don't eat meat? You're a vegetarian? Vegan?
No.
Vegan?
No
meat.
Yeah, no meat, no wheat, no dairy, no sugar. Okay. Hemp hearts for protein. Everybody asks me, what you do with protein? See, food to me is third dairy. Like to most people, that's the first thing they think about when they get hungry. Oh, I gotta eat. I go through it. I fast like it ain't nothing. Like food is like third dairy to me, not secondary. It's like, okay, I gotta eat a little bit today. I haven't ate. I go eat. Because my body changed so much throughout the process of this food thing. Sometimes I'm not hungry. And I have energy.
How much
all day?
Are you still doing cannabis? Do you eat it? Do you smoke it?
Oh yeah. Oh, I smoke it. Yeah, that's to get me by. But I take the leaves. Man, I was doing suppositories up the butt, and sometimes I still, because it helps so much. Man, it helps so much. go through a whole body. Suppository.
They have
Okay.
And I'm
suppository
telling you,
up the
Tammy
butt.
Thomas, the lady that back from sports, she should have done that still sports to get the broty. Because like all the back, but I worried. I know.
Marco, can you hear him? He's
Nah,
I
he's
can't.
cutting out a lot. Yeah. And I was
He broke up the whole time, bro. But I want to know. I'm in the cannabis business, so I want to know what you know.
and you like putting up the butt, so it'll
Yeah. A butt upper.
we gotta hear this. Oh, out.
Yeah, he probably broke up much.
I'm back.
We were both shocked. I didn't know that you could do cannabis suppositories up the butt.
Oh, THC too.
THC.
You won't even get high.
What's it do?
That's why I did it that way, because you would be really high if you just took it by mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I did it before. I put in a drink, and it was woo.
Too much.
I can't do it that way, but through the butt, it slips in, go through the whole system, heals the body. No high. All THC too. So it's, when you know cannabis in a certain way, it heals the body. Not everybody think about just smoking. I'm like, no, it's so many different ways. I mean, it's like you gotta smoke 10,000 joints for what I took.
Wow.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I'm in the cannabis business, so I know all of the and my mother, rest in peace, died of cancer.
Yeah.
But if I would have knew now what I knew then, she probably would have still died, but would have been a much more less painful death for her. But it was tough, man. They man, that chemo my mother it was killing her. Chemo 3 days a week. The other 2 days, 4 days in the week, you're resting and trying to get bit. Chemo on Monday, rest on Tuesday. Chemo on Wednesday, rest on Thursday. Chemo on Friday. Like all weekend, you're trying to recover. And Monday morning, you start the same thing again.
Wow.
Yeah. My mother went from like a mom to like this little skinny lady, who was waiting, just, like telling the guy, take her, because it was tough, man. It was really tough. So, when people cannabis and living a life with it and without, I mean, like, I'm all for it, man. If it works for you, go. If it helps you and all that you need to do, good. Because, the doctors are prescribing all these medicines and these pills that, they fix X, Y, and then, they're going to kill your liver and your kidneys. I'm like, man, I can't do it, man. I really can't do it. I take nothing. No pain medication, nothing. I don't.
Yeah. Or to make you crazy. I almost got arrested downtown LA 2011. When I came down with pain in my foot, I never took prescription drugs before. I'm like, I don't know. I took the doctor gave me Lyrica. The dreams I had, oh my goodness. I started having these dreams. I was scared to tell anybody. And then my sister was coaching in the WNBA at the Staples Center. That they had a game. I think she was coaching for New York. And they came into town. So we go to the game. Me, my wife, my nephew came into town. My nephew, Steven, and my son. We all went to the game. So we went to the game. After the game, we go to the mall. And afterwards, we go to the mall. Stuff happened. As we walking back to the car, my wife say, hey, Steven and, Justin was a little rude to me, and, she was kind of hurt by it. Okay. We walked to the car. I was like, okay, I'm going to handle it. We get to the car. I get to the car. I lose my mind. Like, I lost it in the parking ramp. I just went crazy. The first thing, as soon as I said something, I just blew up. Lost my mind, going crazy. Pulled my nephew, trying to pull him out of the car and hit him. Trying to hit my son. I'm going crazy, losing my mind. So I calmed down. I finally calmed down. I mean, it was a crazy incident. I finally calmed down. I get in the car. They all looking at me like this. man, something wrong with you. Even my wife looking at me, she the one that was hurt. She was like, something wrong with you. So I was like, I got in it. I'm driving. I start the car, drive. We go out the ramp, 6 cop cars, pull up. Somebody in the parking ramp must have seen me go crazy, called the cops. And man, guns drawn all around the car. I'm like, dang. I'm like, man, this is crazy. My mind. So everything cleared up. I mean, people were taking pictures and stuff. This downtown LA. And so everything cleared up. Okay. It wasn't what we thought. I just really just lost it. I didn't hit anybody or nothing. But on the way home, man, I'm like, something wrong with me. And everybody in the car, it was just quiet. I was like, dang, something. And then I finally told, I'm having these thoughts. I'm having these suicidal thoughts of killing everybody. We were driving in the car. I'm thinking about crashing the car and this stuff. And so now I'm off the medicine. I'm off to get him off that medicine. Called the doctor, got me off Lyrica, put me on Neurontin. And Neurontin had me kind of suicide. I'm like, I'm not extreme. I'm like, man, something wrong. It got me off that, put me on Cymbalta, and then I was depressed. Man, I was so depressed. My son sat with me for a whole month, 2011, August. Took his whole August. So he thought I was going to commit suicide. So he just sat with me. Got off that, and I took the pain for the next 5 years in my foot. No prescription drugs, nothing. And I was running, playing basketball. My foot burning like crazy because I got nerve damage in it. And I just ruined it. I was like, man, I was in denial. I was like, you ain't in pain, but it was killing me. And then I finally had a major suicide break 2017. And that's when I changed everything. I had to change everything in my life so I can get better. Because it was getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, I was having these breaks a lot, like going crazy because the pain was a lot. But I'm over it. I'm like, I beat it. That was the fight. Boxing ain't nothing compared to that pain I had.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Let's get it.
So, you had a great career in boxing. You won a couple titles, and you want to win 3 more. So then that will put you at 5, right?
Yes.
What's the first show? No, let's go backward. Let's go backwards a little bit. So you're a professional boxer, world champion.
Okay.
Lots of money, blah, blah, blah. What happened to that? What happened to the monetary part? Like, are you?
Wait, I didn't hear you.
So you're a professional fighter. You made lots of money. You did lots of things. You won championships. Your kids are in school. So, like, monetarily, where do you sit now? Are you comfortable? You happy? You need money? You don't need money? How is life for you now?
I'm very comfortable. But the thing is, it's funny because that's a question. I know you're not being like rude, just asking, but that's a question. That's the first thing. You got money. Who don't want more money? I'm good. I can live comfortable the rest of my life, but who don't want to see? For me, I want to stretch myself. I didn't get a chance to fight my weight class, but I want to see in my 50s. I'm that arrogant. My style demands this. In my 50s, can I beat these kids? Okay, I'm gonna put my mind to it, and see if I can beat them, so I can be a champ again at my original weight class. And that's just challenging myself.
Yeah, but then what?
What's
like,
that?
Champ again, like, I mean, how long? Like, do you win the title and retire? Do you win the title and keep fighting?
No, you win a title and then you finally retire. Then it just plays out. I mean, it plays out like it's supposed to play out. I'm coming back to have fun, bro. This is the sport I grew up in. I love it. I still can do it at the highest level. Man, let me get it. See, most people look at boxing like this. Man, you're gonna get hurt. That's the last thing I think about. I'm like, okay, well, that's what you think, but that just make me work on my defense more, make me have more fun, make me do what I do. I went through a big boy division, undersized, won 2 heavyweight titles. How? I'm in the front. We're in the front of with 4 big dudes: Kirk Johnson, Andrew Galata, Michael Grant, and me. All of them weigh over 240, 45 pounds, 250. I weighed 206 that day. At first, they said I was too small. Now they're going to say I'm too old. Why are you doing it? I'm going to prove to you why. Connect the world, bro. Excite the world. We're in COVID. Let's get it.
So just to be honest and clear, it's not about money. It's not about anything.
No.
It's only about proving a point to yourself. Yes?
No. It's about money. Who don't want to make money? I mean, it's about money. Yeah, it's about money, but it's about pushing yourself and proving that I am one of the great fighters. So the top 100, the top 100 heavyweights came out. Heavyweights. I'm 37th on the list.
I saw.
I'm devastated. 37, and people happy for me. Wow, you made the list. I'm like, no, I'm a better fighter than that. If I was a middleweight, me and Roy Jones would have been equal.
It would have been like
I sparred with Robert Allen after 90. Oh, we would have been that would have been a matchup. So I would have won middleweight, super middle, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and then I would have got my heavyweight. I would have did that. He didn't do that. So the matchup was that. And I love Roy, but I don't get any credit for nothing I did. I'm like, really? I'm outsized every fight and get criticized for it.
I agree.
But I'm winning.
I think you are.
I'm like, really? With no power. Well, in a big heavyweight division.
I think you have power. I think you definitely were underrated, and I think you had a lot more power than people gave you. I think what Jeremy's trying to get at is this just because you need the money, or is this because you want to do something spectacular?
Spectacular. Look, man, I get a chance to do something great. I mean, great. You think about it. I want you to really think. I went from middleweight, a skinny. Jeremy know me. I was super skinny, and I won 2 heavyweight titles in a big era. Now I'm coming back down to middleweight. Think about it. I'm coming 50, 60 pounds down to win a middleweight title. If that ain't the biggest feat, one of the biggest feat in boxing, what is? I'm coming back from chronic pain.
No,
this movie stuff. And that's why movie that people want to, I'm trying to inspire. Look at our country, man. We all over the place. Racism, the election, everybody split. It's time of COVID, man. Let's get together. This U.S., man. Let's come together. So the old man, hey, could give you hope.
So have you been talking to promoters?
Promoters, man. I got signed at 50, Jeremy. At 50.
You got signed
by
at 50?
manager.
Oh yeah, who signed
at 50 with Split Team Management, which is one of the biggest in the probably in the world. That's David McWater. I was like, really? I didn't even get signed after the Olympics, but now I get signed.
When's your first fight?
And we talking to the major. We looking at it right now. Because COVID holding everything back, so they try to fit me in. And once I get fit in, that's when you're gonna see me on display. I gotta be must see TV.
Gotta be. All right, well, shit. That is question. You in the cars?
Huh?
Are you into cars? Yeah.
Love cars.
Yeah. What kind of car you drive?
What kind of car I'm driving?
Yeah. Yes. I love cars. I like them all, man.
It's frozen.
When I see one of them, it's frozen. Oh yeah.
Man, I can't.
You keep it metro car.
I got an Audi. Why? The truck.
I like. Oh yeah. Oh, you got the Audi truck. Nice. No, I like cars. I always ask people.
What's that?
I like cars. You keep freezing. You keep freezing back and forth in these funny ass positions.
Yeah. I got a question. This is kind of.
I know.
It's kind of I guess a hacky question, but who would you say of everybody you fought was I don't want to say the best fighter, but maybe the hardest fighter, the hardest fight you had, the person who stands out as the toughest opponent.
Oh, Vladimir Klitschko, Vlad Klitschko. As far as style wise, it's all about style. I mean, the power is anybody could knock me out at heavyweight. Everybody, if you catch me, hey, I'm not heavyweight. But as far as hard and style wise, Vladimir was a hard style for me.
You know what's
really
weird?
hard.
I feel like his brother, who you beat. I mean, you were beating him. You had one up on him. I know his hand hurt or whatever, but you were.
Yeah.
I thought he was a better version of Vlad. I thought Vitaly was a better version. You handled him.
He's a better version. He is. He's a tougher version.
And you beat him.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vlad's now a tough guy, but he treated me like a little guy. Yeah, think about it. That's Olympic gold medalist at super heavyweight. I'm Olympic silver medalist at middleweight. And he 4 years younger, 4 years later. He treated me like a little guy. I'm unnaturally, especially when he got with Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart was like, knock his little ass out. Take it to him. That's heavyweight. Use the size, all your advantage. Why?
It makes sense, man. You like use all the bumps, all the shoulder pushes. I get it. That stuff is exhausting.
Do you think that when you fought Vladimir, that you weren't at the top of the game as you were when you fought Vitaly?
Nah, I was just it's when I fought Vladimir, it was just one of those nights, man. I mean, it was like, dang, I got in the ring, I look at his size, I'm like, man, totally different as brother. As far as the punching wise, totally different. I'm like, ooh, he's cock strong. I mean, Vitaly don't knock nobody. He rarely knock anybody out. He just stop you. He was so big, he'll overwhelm you. But not really knocking you out. Vlad knocking you out. Like, boom, he'll knock you out. So he got that kind of power. To me, because I went and sparred with Vitaly too after I went down to light heavyweight like a dummy. But they called me, he was fighting Juan Carlos Gomez. And I'm like, I weighed 191 pounds. It's still the same power. If it was Vladimir, he would stretch me in camp. If he would have caught me, he would stretch me. But that, I was taking it and rolling. He didn't punch it hard. Not to me. To other people, he may punch like Tyson, but to me, he didn't punch as hard as Vladimir.
So that comment you just made, you just said that you went down to light heavyweight like a dummy. What do you mean by that?
I didn't know nutrition at that time. I would starve myself. I ran 13, 14 miles a day. I'm doing stupid stuff. And I run and then go eat a lot of junk and then throw up, starve, doing all that crazy stuff. Now, my weight settled at like 163, 64 all the time. And I got a lot of energy. I didn't have any energy when I went to light heavyweight. Look who I fought. Look at the fight. I didn't have nothing. And my shoulder shredded after the fight. I was all messed up. I didn't know what I was doing. But then when you come down in pain and you got to research how to heal your body, you start studying everything. You start learning a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it helps me out now. I'm really smart. I really want to come back and educate the fighters because the up and down, that losing weight, that's not good for the body. The body's intelligent. The body like, man, what the heck you doing? Next thing you know, diseases form. Now you got all these mental problems. You got all this stuff because the body and the brain is not connected. You keep losing that weight and just like that.
Yeah, I think when you come back and when people see where you're at and the level you're at, I think you could be in a position to teach people and show them how you did it. What'd you think? And this is just me personally. When you fought Holyfield, you beat him. Did he come off like? Was he super strong? Like, what did anything stand out about him? Because you made him look very ordinary, very average.
Woo! Super strong in the first 4 rounds. I mean, so strong. One thing about Vander, he's smart. Like when I get in the ring with somebody, I'll wait. I let you throw punches first, make you miss, see what you really got. to me is a mental game. So you got to start breaking them down. Evander, he started shortening. It was great because he was shortening the ring and put me in the corner. I was like, he'd take one step one way, one step the other, and I didn't know which direction he was going. I have to go backward. And then I just wait for him. Okay, when he get me to the corner, he gonna throw something big. Once I time it, I'm getting up under and I'm gone. And I wait. And I'm like, oh, we're playing this game. And that's how smart he is when it just comes to being in the ring and maneuvering around the ring. That's why at his size he could do what he do.
Yeah, because he's
pretty smart, and he can punch.
Well, he was also a lighter guy, right? He was initially a cruiser.
Yeah, light heavyweight.
Light heavy.
Yeah, light heavyweight. Light heavyweight, cruiser, and heavyweight.
Jeremy, did you ever spar Holyfield?
I did not. I did not. Where Christopher? There he is. Yeah, I never sparred. Wasn't much of a sparring partner for people, man. I sparred Riddick Bowe once or twice. And Evander Holy and Lennox Lewis. And that was it for me. I'm like, I'm good.
How was that? How's it sparring with those two? That's a great two.
Riddick Bowe. He punched, he socked the shit out of me, bro. God damn. He hit right hand. Yeah, something. Oh man, I was like, okay, that hurts a little bit. But then I jumped on him too. So then they had it was like 2 rounds. All right, get out.
Oh yeah.
Once he touched me pretty nice, I was like, oh, okay. And then I jumped on him. They're like, okay, done. Okay, Ringo, go. And then I sparred with Lennox Lewis, and man, just a great dude, like really, really nice. Like, but he was doing his work, and I was doing my work, and I hit him. I hit him hard enough for him to know that I was there. And then they would only, like, for me, when I was sparring people like that, 1-2 rounds, then they get me out of the ring.
Well,
but I this to everybody else, like Lennox Lewis is like a first class dude. He was always real respectful, really nice, really cool, and he like
that's cool.
He put like, yes, we're all but he big brothered me for a minute for when I was in camp with him, and I thought that was top shelf, and I would like, and to this day I've got nothing but the utmost respect for Lennox Lewis.
So if you respect him so much, why did you body slam him twice in sparring?
Because of the person that I am. It wasn't twice, it was once. And it wasn't a body slam. He grabbed me and he was trying to throw me to the ground. And so because I don't know, I'm not a judo black belt. I was in a position.
No, fight.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like, but later that night, all the coaches and everything, but you get him out of camp. He was like, yeah, cool, man. He was really, really cool. He was like, yeah, mate, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, man, I apologize, but then, just don't mess, like whatever that was. But again, I say, Lennox Lewis is a very, very top shelf guy. I don't have anything negative about him at all.
I saw Jeremy a couple times. I remember one time up at Kevin's. So I don't know what happened, but you ended up throwing the gloves off and just being like, "Let's go outside right now." Like in the middle of sparring, you threw your gloves off and you challenged the guy to go outside and fight you. One of the sparring sessions. So you had a little bit of. You don't remember that? You had a little bit of a temper.
Yeah, young. My mother would say this all the time: "Young and dumb go right together." So sorry. I don't know. And I'm like, shit happens, bro. I'm the person that I was is completely different than the person who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, until something go down.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out. Olympic Training Center, 1991. We're in the mall. Me, Larry Donald, the super heavyweight on our team. He was super heavyweight on the Olympic team. Jeremy Williams. And a kid from Texas. I don't even remember his name. No disrespect. I don't remember his name. So 5 guys walking. It's 4 of us, 5 of them. They're walking on one side of the mall. They're putting up gang signs. And Jeremy secretly put them gang signs too. I wouldn't say secretly. He was just doing it. I'm like, what the heck? So, man, this is brutal. So they go their way, we go our way. Me and Jeremy had trust fund money. Jerry, I remember he took out $3,000. He had $3,000. I had $1,800 in our trust fund because he was doing commercial and I was doing speaking for Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we had put in a trust fund because of amateur boxing. So we got our money out. We're in a record shop. So we're in the record shop. Me and Jeremy at the counter. Jeremy getting ready to buy a couple of CDs. Larry down and the other guy was looking at some it wasn't CDs at the time. It was records and tapes. So they were looking at records and tapes. The guys come in the record shop. The smallest guy came up to Jeremy. Jeremy had a stack of money, getting ready to buy his stuff. He had a stack of money out. The little dude said, "Look, cuz." He said, "Look, cuz, he got a whole lot of money." He came up there. And I'm like this. I'm looking at him like, are you kidding? Y'all must don't know who this is. The tall guy, it was a friend, one of the 4. He was really tall, skinny guy, standing behind Jeremy. He looked at him, peeked behind him, like, okay. Turn, boom, hit him right in the face. And I was like, oh, the lady behind the counter screaming, oh my goodness, going crazy. He knocked the boy all over the tapes. He fell into it. The kid gets up. I'm like, oh my goodness, Jeremy, I can still see this in my mind. You hit him with a right hand and a hook. Boom. When you hit him with the hook, it knocked him over everything. The whole store was destroyed. We took off running. As we were running, I said, stop. We didn't do anything. We didn't do nothing. We sat out there and talked for a while. We sat there and talked how we going to discuss how we go back, what's going to happen. We go back in. We ran into the security guard and said, hey, you were the guys that just basically destroyed that store down there. Hey, those guys were, the security guard said, we've been dealing with those guys because we told them about y'all putting up gang signs and stuff. He said, we've been dealing with those guys all day too. They've been hassling us. So when we went into the record shop, this is what I seen in the boy. I still remember it. It looked like somebody got a hammer and his teeth out. Jeremy, when he hit him, the boy got back up. And I was like, don't get back up. When Jeremy knocked him to the ground, when he fell over all the tapes and stuff, then he hit the ground, Jeremy started kicking him. And I'm like, oh no, Jeremy, stop. I'm like, good, what are you doing? And then it was over. I was like, I'd never seen nothing like that in my life. It was like a movie. How can you do something like that? That's even Shannon Briggs bring up Jeremy and say, man, how about bumping into Jeremy on the street, man? You don't even know who he is. That's a brutal dude. Oh, Shannon saying that when he's at 275.
Jeremy, you remember that story?
Yeah.
What'd you kick him for?
Dude, I was young and crazy. Wow.
How old were you? 16,
15.
So were you like a gang thing? Was he like a Crip or a Blood or whatever the fuck it is? And
I don't remember all this detail. I remember the dude like looking over my shoulder at my money. Like I had my money in my hand, like that'll be $5. You know, I'm like counting, go okay here, and then the dude was standing right there, and then Chris was like, then after that, like when I say I destroyed that record store quick. I remember that time we were at the nightclub and I was
about to bring that up.
Man, it's a crazy one. He'll tell you. I know better than I do.
Jeremy Witt. This is Jeremy Witt. We're at a nightclub. So we had 48 boxers out of Colorado Springs, the top 48 out there. And then the 24 went home, and there's 24 left. So this is our last night before we're going we were going to Italy. We were getting ready to go to Italy.
Yeah.
It was our last night in the club. So as the club was closing, Sean Fletcher he's trying to leave, and this girl and this guy was talking to each other, and we had to go through between them. So Sean walked between the two and put his hand in front of the guy's face and said, "Excuse me," and then that started everything. I mean, they started arguing, and then Jeremy Williams come out of nowhere, and that's what set everything off. This ain't nothing starting until I get it started. Man, he started all that. It was the cops came. It was just craziness. I was like, man, but Jeremy is the one that always gonna come through. If I know I got Jeremy with me, I ain't pretty much worried.
So Chris,
I seen Jeremy in the mall. In the mall. We were in the mall, dude putting up gang signs again. Big black dude had them, what's those braids that come down like that? Big dude. You pulled your pants, you pulled them up like this. Come on, you squat down. Big fella back down. Oh man, cuz I didn't mean that. I was like, wow. Jeremy, man, I learned a lot from you. Big guys scared of you. We would be at camp. You had to fight with the super heavyweights, and you couldn't even spar light heavyweight. You never.
damn.
Yeah.
So Chris,
That's how much he can punch.
Chris, were you a tough guy? Like, did you get like outside the ring? Did you get in fights?
Nah, I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm tough when I'm with Jeremy. he tough. I'm like, okay, yeah. What's gonna happen? You better not do nothing.
Man,
when you leave, I'm running.
Remember that club? We was in this club dancing that night before we went to Italy, and everybody got into a fight. Me, Larry Byrd, Larry Donald, everybody, and like I'm hitting people with hooks and shit, and Larry Donald's hitting people with jabs.
Yeah,
no.
Ow! See, throw this jab.
Oh hell no!
Oh hell! Oh no!
I'm like, Larry, why you hitting him with a jab? Don't worry about me. I'm pretty. I said, okay, we need to get a cab. We beat up. The whole team. I think it was like 8 out of the 12 guys on the U.S. team was in a club one night, and we tore that whole shit. And then the next day we had to jump on a plane.
I know.
And go to Italy and fight again. Oh yeah. But hey, Chris, pleasure speaking to you. I'll definitely be calling you. I want you to come up. I'll come down and visit, man. I gotta go down there pretty soon, anyways, down in San Diego. But,
okay, call me, brother.
I definitely will. Lots of love and respect, and thank you for being our first guest show, man.
Yes, man.
It was an honor, man. Honor being the first guest.
Thank you,
fun, bro.
All right.
Later.
Later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.